Good afternoon, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. Coming on the air live to bring you some breaking news. You know, I'm hoping to get a video of a news conference. I don't know if we're going to get it, so part of the reason I came live is I thought I could get you this news conference, but I'm not sure. But we're going to go. It might be a short stream if I don't have it, but whatever, we'll try. So the Superintendent of Public Schools in Des Moines, Iowa, has been taken into custody by I.C.E. And according to Fox News, they took him into custody because he's illegally in the country. There is supposed to be momentarily a press conference by Des Moines Public Schools. The problem is, I don't know if they're going to broadcast it. So I'm really hoping I can get access to this press conference, but I don't know that we will have access to it. So I kind of just came on the air and I was like, well, hopefully we get access to it, but I apologize if we don't. I can only use video that I have the rights to. I can't, steal Iowa CBS video or whatever. But I am waiting to see. I'm hoping, since it's the Des Moines Public Schools, that they would broadcast their own news conference. I mean, they do show their board meetings on the web. So we're going to see what. Again, the news conference was supposed to start 8 minutes ago. I'm not aware that it started yet. So give me a second to kind of look around here. That would be ideal. Yeah. So it was supposed to start at 3 local time, and it's now 4 local time. It's 3:09 local time. But I don't see it yet anywhere. Let me check a couple things. Hang on. Yeah, so again, I'm really hoping that we can get you this news conference by the public school system. You can see right here, Des Moines Public Schools says, school board chairs said, I wish to share information of immediate importance to the community. Pursuant to the board-approved DMPS Leadership Succession Plan, Matt Smith, the Associate Superintendent, will immediately step into the role of Interim Superintendent till further notice. This action follows Dr. Ian Roberts, the Superintendent of Public Schools in Des Moines, Iowa, being detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agents this morning. Now, they say we have no confirmed information as to why Dr. Roberts is being detained or the next potential steps. But Fox News says they detained him because ICE believes he is illegally in the country. Now, again, there's supposed to be a news conference at any moment. And I'm really hoping that we can get that for you. But I don't see it anywhere yet. And I'm going to tell you what Fox reported about this in a second. But in a perfect world, the school system will broadcast their news conference. So I'm on the lookout for it. And again, I do apologize if we don't have it. It might be a short stream, but at a certain point, you either have to come on the air or you don't. So I was just like, well, we'll just go on the air and hopefully we can get it. Hopefully they'll show it, even if they put it up after. This is Des Moines, Iowa. So Fox News, Bill Malugin of Fox reported that a senior ICE official told Fox News that Dr. Ian Roberts is an illegal alien from Guyana. And Hold on a second here. Let me tell you what Fox said. So Fox said that ICE told them that Dr. Ian Roberts is an illegal alien from Guyana. They said ICE told Fox News that he had an active deportation order since May 2024. Hang on a moment. Hang on. Again, there's supposed to be a news conference that was supposed to have started already, but I don't see that it has started. But I am looking around here. Just give me a moment. Give me one moment. Because I don't want to, I want to let you know if it's on somewhere else. But okay, I don't see it there. I don't see it there. All right, so Fox News said that ICE told them that the Superintendent Roberts, fled from ICE agents in his car once they identified themselves. He sped away, abandoned the car, and was found in a brushy area with the help of an Iowa State Police canine. This is according to Fox News, Bill Malugin. ICE also claimed they found a loaded gun, a fixed blade hunting knife, and $3,000 in cash in his vehicle. Fox News reports that ICE says that Dr. Roberts first entered the U.S. in 1999, 26 years ago, on an F-1 student visa. They say he was ordered removed last year in May. Fox is told he also has a weapons arrest in 2020, though the disposition of that charge case is currently unclear. So waiting, again, I really hope that the public schools broadcasts their own press conference. It's live, it's live, it's live. We have it right now. Hold on, I'm putting it on the screen for you. I'm putting it on the screen. Here it is. Here it is. We need the audio. Unmute. Unmute.
Following the remarks, we know you likely have questions, no doubt, but we ask you to bear with us, and we won't be able to address further questions at this time. And so with that, I'll turn this over to our school board chair, Jackie Norris.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Des Moines Public School community, I want to provide an update from district leadership and the board on the current situation unfolding with our superintendent, Dr. Ian Roberts. Before we begin, it seems fitting to take a page out of Dr. Roberts' book and ask the community to engage in radical empathy as we work through this situation together. Radical empathy is the recognition that we can disagree and still empathize with each other. The respect of others' humanity. This concept will be essential as we wait to learn more. We do not have all the facts. There is much we do not know. However, what we do know is that Dr. Roberts has been an integral part of our school community since he joined over 2 years ago. During his time with our district, he has shown up in ways big and small and has advocated for students and staff and begun introducing concepts that will help us reimagine for future generations, reimagine education for future generations of Des Moines students. Here is what we also know. Dr. Roberts joined us in July 2023 and has held educational leadership positions in districts across the U.S. for 20 years. The Iowa Board of Educational Examiners issued Dr. Roberts a license to serve as superintendent in the state of Iowa in July 2023. There is new information that has been made public that we did not know, and we have not been able to verify as to whether that information is accurate. I'm turning it over to Interim Superintendent Matt Smith.
We stand firm with our community, many of whom are feeling sad, outraged, and helpless. We understand as we too are devastated by the news of his detainment. However, this does not stop our important work, and we will continue to provide outstanding education to the students in our community. Know this, we have protocols and processes in place to address this type of situation. We have leaders who will continue to show up in a way that communicates care, empathy, service, and action. We will lead with love and care for the dignity of human beings in Des Moines and across our country. This is challenging on many levels, and the reality is that we may not have additional answers right away. However, the strength of Des Moines Public Schools is in its people, our leaders, educators, and staff who will continue to advance the mission on behalf of our students and families as we wait for clarity in what comes next. In the words of Dr. Roberts, if you paddle together, you will survive the tide. If you paddle alone, you will likely drown. As we move forward and learn more, we choose to paddle together. Bring to the table, Ms. Maria Alonso.
En nombre de la comunidad de las escuelas públicas de Des Moines, quiero proporcionar una actualización del liderazgo del distrito y la Junta sobre la situación actual que se desarrolla con nuestro superintendente, el Dr. Ian Roberts. Antes de comenzar, parece apropiado tomar una página del libro de Dr. Roberts y pedirle a la comunidad que se involucre en una empatía radical mientras trabajamos juntos en esta situación. La empatía radical es el reconocimiento de que podemos estar en desacuerdo y aún empatizar con los demás. El respeto de la comunidad de los demás. Este concepto será esencial mientras esperamos aprender más. No tenemos todos los hechos. Hay mucho que no sabemos. Sin embargo, lo que sí sabemos es que el Dr. Roberts ha sido una parte integral de nuestra comunidad escolar desde que se unió hace más de 2 años. Durante su tiempo con nuestro distrito, se ha mostrado de maneras grandes y pequeñas que han abogado por los marginados, han apoyado a los estudiantes y el personal y han comenzado a introducir conceptos que nos ayudarán a reimaginar la educación para las futuras generaciones de estudiantes de Des Moines. Esto es lo que también sabemos. El Dr. Roberts se unió a nosotros en julio del 2023 y ha ocupado puestos de liderazgo educativo en distritos de todos los Estados Unidos durante los últimos 20 años. La Junta de Examinadores Educativos de Iowa emitió al Dr. Roberts una licencia para servir como superintendente en el estado
She's
de
basically
Iowa en julio del
repeating
2023.
She's basically
Hay nueva
repeating what
información
the
que
first
se-
speaker said, just so you know. She's basically giving a Spanish announcement, which is similar to what the first speaker said. Well, the woman who spoke, the second speaker, who summarized
Estamos con
everything.
nuestra comunidad, muchos de los cuales se sienten emocionales, tristes, indignados, impotentes. Lo entendemos, ya que nosotros también estamos devastados por la noticia de su detención. Sin embargo, esto no detiene nuestro importante trabajo y continuaremos brindando una educación sobresaliente a los estudiantes de nuestra comunidad. Sepan esto, contamos con protocolos y procesos para abordar este tipo de situaciones. Tenemos líderes que continuarán apareciendo de una manera que comunique cuidado, empatía, servicio y acción. Lideraremos con amor y cuidado por la dignidad de los seres humanos en Des Moines y en todo nuestro país. Esto es un desafío en muchos niveles y la realidad es que es posible que no tengamos respuestas adicionales de inmediato. Sin embargo, la fuerza de las escuelas públicas de Des Moines está en su gente, en sus líderes, educadores y personal que continuarán avanzando la misión en nombre de nuestros estudiantes y familias mientras esperamos claridad y lo que viene después. En palabras del Dr. Roberts, si reman juntos, sobrevivirán a la marea. Si remas solo, es probable que te ahogues. A medida que avanzamos y aprendemos más, rememos juntos.
As I mentioned, this is a legally complex and developing situation. We're not in the position to answer further questions at this time. We'll certainly be providing updates and address additional information when and if it becomes available on this, but we are sorry that we're not able to answer questions right at this point in time. We do appreciate everybody's coming out and your attention to this matter. And with that, we'll conclude. Appreciate it.
All right, so they didn't take questions. They did not take questions. So we didn't get much information there. They said they're working to get more facts. All right, so let's talk about this. So here is the web page which is still up there, for Dr. Ian Roberts. Des Moines Public Schools is the largest public school system in Iowa. It has about 30,000 students. And there is Dr. Ian Roberts. And he is in ICE custody. So let me repeat what Fox News is reporting about this. Bill Malugin posted a report from Fox News. By the way, a quick thank you to Uncle Lester Cam, Dev Danger, Rob 8729, Retired Hoochie Daddy, Rule, Uncle Lester Cam, Longboard Ninja Master, I Am Charlie, and also all of our moderators who are in our chat right now for our breaking news coverage. Beth Mythical, thank you for being there. And also, hang on a moment, I want to thank our other mods as well. Linda Belk, Larry, Misha over on X. On Facebook, we have our moderators. By the way, in that Facebook is kind of slow right now. On Twitch, our moderators: David Green, LB Prairie on Idaho Star, Matthew Kohai 3, Surly Devin Tariag. Thanks also on Twitch to Tahoe 7 and Who Shot JR. And Facebook is acting funky, so in a second I'll thank the mods on Facebook. We did hear the officials who spoke at the press conference we just saw. Well, it wasn't really a press conference; it was more of a media update. The officials who spoke at the media briefing spoke very highly of Dr. Roberts. They certainly spoke very highly of him. Thanks, Shannon Davis Hughes, Margaret Riley moderating over there on Facebook right now. So let me again go over what, according to Bill Malugin of hold on. Oh, there's an ICE press release about. There's an ICE arrest photo and press release. I didn't even see this. Let me see if I can find this for you. Hang on a moment. Newsroom? News releases? This is it. I got it. I got the press release. I just saw this. This is the press release from ICE. Thanks to Bill Malugin for posting about that. Hang on a minute here. So, ICE arrests criminal alien serving as Des Moines Public Schools superintendent prior weapons charges, and in possession of loaded handgun at time of arrest. Now, I don't know if he was breaking the law by having a loaded handgun at the time of arrest. So we're going to go over this right now. Again, he was the superintendent of schools for Des Moines, Iowa. ICE says today, ICE Des Moines arrested Ian Andre Roberts, a criminal illegal alien from Guyana, in possession of a loaded handgun, $3,000 in cash, and a fixed blade hunting knife. Again, I don't know if he was breaking the law by having any of those things in and of itself. At the time of his arrest, he was working as the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools, despite being an illegal alien with a final order of removal and no work authorization. During a targeted enforcement operation on September 26, 2025, officers approached Roberts in his vehicle after identifying himself, but he sped away. Officers later discovered his vehicle abandoned near a wooded area. State Patrol assisted in locating the subject, and he was taken into ICE custody. So ICE is saying that they approached the superintendent of Des Moines schools this morning, and he sped away from them, and they discovered his vehicle abandoned. And then State Patrol assisted in locating him, and he was taken into ICE custody. Roberts has existing weapon possession charges from February 5th, 2020. We don't know the nature of those charges, what ended up happening with them, what they were, and what ended up happening with them. Roberts entered the United States in 1999, so he's been in the U.S. for 26 years on a student visa and was given a final order of removal by an immigration judge in May of 2024. We also don't know what the circumstances of that are. He was given a final order of removal just last year. The investigation into how Roberts acquired the handgun is being turned over to the ATF. It is a violation of federal law for those in the U.S. without legal status to possess a firearm and ammunition. So what they're saying there is, well, if he has a firearm and he's not in the U.S. with legal status, then that is a violation of the law. The ICE ERO St. Paul Field Office Director Sam Olson said this suspect was arrested in possession of a loaded weapon in a vehicle provided by Des Moines Public Schools after fleeing federal law enforcement. This should be a wake-up call for our communities to the great work that our officers are doing every day to remove public safety threats. How this illegal alien was hired without work authorization, a final order of removal, and a prior weapons charge is beyond comprehension and should alarm the parents of that school district. ICE is grateful for the assistance of Iowa State Patrol in apprehending the suspect. As we told you, as you saw, the officials from Des Moines Public Schools were very, they gave a lot of praise, spoke very highly of him in their news update, which we will replay shortly. But this is quite a striking story here. Let me really quick, I want to just post this, but then I'm going to take some of your comments on the air. Can I get this to fit on the screen? Wow. Wow. And they have a picture of the gun. And this is the shot from today. This is a 2020 photo, and this is the picture today, I guess they took after he was taken into custody. Again, Des Moines Public Schools is the biggest school district in Iowa. It has about 30,000 students. We're going to take some comments from you guys. And I'll show you again what they had to say. Des Moines Public Schools just did an update. They didn't say much. It's interesting. I don't think now I didn't know this press release was out until a few minutes ago. I missed it when I was coming on the air. But this press release has been out, I want to say, for at least an hour because Bill Malugin posted about it. So it's interesting that this press release apparently was on the I.C.E website, and yet I don't believe that the officials in the public schools media update referenced this. And I don't even think they referenced the facts given in this. Which I don't know if they just didn't know about it. I mean, I didn't know about it, but I'm not, I'm not an official in the Des Moines public school system. Okay. Mama Yoli says, did he steal someone's identity? I mean, we don't know so much here. Again, the order, he came into the country legally on a student visa in 1999. And according to I.C.E, he was given a final order of removal last May. So why was he ordered removed? What was his status for the 25 years between 1999 and 2024? What happened to cause him to have an order of removal? We just don't know. I mean, that's a whole 25 years where we just don't really know. But I mean, he clearly, I don't think they hired him as superintendent without knowing him before. So he clearly worked his way up in the school system and worked his way up in the world of education. Our viewer Half says he overstayed his original visa. Again, we just don't know. It doesn't say there in the press release. Anatolian Alt says he sounds like a pretty cool guy, assuming there isn't more to this and he didn't do anything harmful. Again, I'm going to play it again for you, but the public schools officials in Des Moines spoke very highly of him a short while ago. Let me show you what some of what they have said about this. This is an announcement here from the board president of Des Moines Public Schools. This was posted about 3 hours ago. An important message from school board chair Jackie Norris. On behalf of the board of Des Moines Public Schools, I wish to share information of immediate importance to the Des Moines Public Schools community. Pursuant to the board-approved Des Moines Public Schools Leadership Succession Plan, Matt Smith, Associate Superintendent, will immediately step into the role of interim superintendent until further notice. This action follows Dr. Ian Roberts being detained by I.C.E, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement agents, this morning. Now, as of 2 hours ago, they said we have no confirmed information as to why he's being detained or the next potential steps. That, I believe, was before I.C.E had come out with their press release. Anyways, they said the school board president said our priority is to provide a safe, secure, and outstanding education for all students and to support our students, families, and employees. The appointment of Mr. Smith as interim superintendent ensures our district continues to operate at the highest level. Mr. Smith, the new interim superintendent, previously served as interim superintendent during the 2022-2023 school year. The board has the highest confidence in Mr. Smith's leadership at this time. We know you have many questions, and we will provide updates as we learn more confirmed information. We thank you and appreciate your support. Now, how about his website? Okay, look, here is background. Here is background on Dr. Ian Roberts. This is the official page from Des Moines Public Schools. He is now in I.C.E custody. Dr. Ian Roberts, superintendent. Dr. Ian Roberts was named the 15th superintendent of Des Moines Public School District effective July 1st, 2023. So he has been the superintendent in Des Moines for over 2 years. He was chosen following an extensive nationwide search based on a leadership profile developed with input from the school board, teachers, families, and others in the school community. Dr. Roberts is a career educator with over 2 decades of experience as a classroom teacher, school administrator, and executive leader. An accomplished author and speaker, Dr. Roberts has written numerous books and publications about educational topics, including leadership, empathy, and cultural responsiveness. He is passionate about instructional excellence, diversity, equity, inclusion, and innovation in education. Dr. Roberts came to Des Moines after serving as superintendent of Mill Creek Township, Pennsylvania School District for 3 years. Wow. And also St. Louis Public Schools superintendent. Wow. Whoa. Look at this. So, let me post this. The Des Moines Public Schools superintendent taken into custody by ICE today, previously served as Superintendent of Mill Creek Township, Pennsylvania School District, and St. Louis Public Schools High School Network Superintendent. Wow. Hold on a second here. So he has a long educational background. Again, he has been the superintendent in Des Moines, Iowa Public Schools since for over 2 years. He came to Des Moines after serving as superintendent of the Mill Creek Township, Pennsylvania School District for 3 years, where his focus was culturally responsive, quality and equity-based instructional leadership that prepared every student for a college or career. Prior to that, he served as the St. Louis Public Schools in Missouri High School Network Superintendent, where he coached, supported, and evaluated middle, high school, and alternative school principals. His educational career also includes positions in Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., South Bronx, New York, and across the country. While in D.C., he was named George Washington University's 2013 Washington, D.C. Principal of the Year. Dr. Roberts proudly shares that he was born to immigrant parents from Guyana and spent most of his formative years in Brooklyn, New York. Again, he came to the U.S., according to ICE, in 1999. But he was not hiding that he was born in Guyana. I mean, it's literally on the website there. Dr. Roberts proudly shares that he was born to immigrant parents from Guyana. Well, he doesn't say, actually, he doesn't say there, it doesn't say there that he was born in Guyana, but it says he spent most of his formative years in Brooklyn, New York. This is not, by the way, this is not his writing. This is what the school system, this is the school system's official page for him. But certainly it doesn't sound like he was hiding where he was from, right? At least as far as I can tell from this. He graduated with a BS, and he came legally to the U.S. in 1999, says ICE, on a student visa. Now, I don't know how that squares. If he came on a student visa, was that for college? I'm not sure. Anyways, he graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree from Coppin State University, earned master's degrees from St. John's University and Georgetown University, and received his doctorate in urban educational leadership from Trident University. He has also received several education-related certificates, including the Harvard University Improving Schools, the Art of Leadership Certificate. Prior to becoming a special education teacher, principal, district leader, and leadership trainer, Ian was a world-class and Olympic athlete. He also competed in track and field at the 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney? Really? He was an Olympic athlete? Yes, he was also an Olympic athlete. He competed for Guyana in the 2000 Summer Olympics in Sydney, Australia. I mean, it's just kind of a trivia fact, right? I don't really know that it's relevant to this. By the way, you sometimes see people competing for a birth country, even if they don't live in that country. That sometimes happens with Olympics. So him competing for Guyana doesn't mean that he was claiming to live in Guyana full time. But I mean, wow, he was a 2000 Olympic Games Olympic athlete in track and field for Guyana. He is married, enjoys hunting, reading, and spending time with family and friends. Wow. And he is in ICE custody now. No word on if he's going to be like deported. I don't know. The press release did not say what's going to happen to him from ICE. I'm going to show you guys that news conference again. In a moment, we will watch the news update, not really a news conference, a news update from the Des Moines Public Schools. Boy Blue says good riddance. Kay Overcash says sounds like a real threat to society, but she's saying it sarcastically, according to the emoji she posted. Gina Pina says this is going to be heartbreaking for all the students that knew him. Multi-B says he ran, something must be up. Well, according to ICE, he was ordered, according to ICE, he was given a final order of removal by an immigration judge in May of 2024. So, and they said during a targeted enforcement operation, I guess they were going after him specifically, maybe, officers approached him in his vehicle after identifying himself, but he sped away. So he might have just figured, if you're wondering what was in his mind, it seems like maybe he thought they were going to take him into custody and deport him or something, you know? So I'm not defending speeding away. I'm just telling you, again, according to ICE, he was given a final order of removal by an immigration judge in May of 2024. I'm assuming that he was aware of said order. So, you know, but how this all was he just, did he not, if this is true, did he not tell any of his coworkers about this? I don't know what his family knew. I have no idea, you know. Hold on a second here. So a lot of questions about this. Mama Yoli says, why didn't or couldn't he start the process of becoming legal? I don't know if he did. He was here for 25 years. Between 1999, he came in legally, and in 2024, he got a final order of removal by an immigration judge. What happened in between? We don't know the details. Is his wife a U.S. citizen? We do not know. I don't know. I mean, according to the website from the city, Des Moines Public Schools, he's married. Does he have children? I don't know. I don't know anything about his wife. Or it could be husband. I don't know that either. right? So we just don't know. All right, let's show you, I want to show you guys what Des Moines Public Schools had to say about this, okay? Let's look at what they had to say about it. This was moments ago. Des Moines Public Schools. I mean, of the people, well, there have been some other prominent people who have been taken into custody by ICE over the last several months. But this is I don't know that I've heard a case like this. And again, from everything that we've heard school officials say, he was well liked and highly regarded there. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you what the public schools had to say. And let me just check something here real quick. They just posted about it. They just posted about it. Now, I've shown you what they said about it, but ICE just posted about it. Now, they said they arrested him, a criminal illegal alien from Guyana, in possession of a loaded handgun, $3,000 in cash, and a fixed blade hunting knife after he tried to evade arrest. Now, just to be clear here, according to ICE, he had some sort of weapons charge in 2020. We don't know the details of that charge. We don't know if the charge was, if he was convicted, if it was dropped, what the charge was, we don't know. Also, in their press release, they said it's illegal to have a gun in the United States if you're not legally in the country. But to be clear, ICE has not said that he was a robber. They have not said that he was planning on doing something like bad with the knife and the gun. To be clear, it's possible he always had a knife and gun in his car for the last 25 years. I don't know. But I just want to be clear on what the facts are here. Okay? They did say he drove away, sped away after ICE agents confronted him this morning. They did say that. You know, I don't want people to read that and assume that ICE is saying, oh, he was trying to flee the country with a gun and knife. There's no specifics given by ICE aside from what he had in his car. All right, so they just posted about this. We showed you. Now, there's going to be some questions about, you know, some people might say, you know, I'm sure some people will say, well, if he was, you know, a great educator that people liked, and I don't know what his criminal charge was, the card charge could have been dropped. Suppose the charge was dropped. People might say, well, why are you targeting this guy? Other people are not going to say that. Other people are going to say, well, we think he should be removed from the country. So I'm sure there'll be debate about this. Let me show you again what the, as I said I was going to. This is the Des Moines, Iowa news update from their public schools, which didn't say that much, but this is the public schools update that they gave a short time ago. So I'm going to play it for you here.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. We'll get started here in just 1 second. We appreciate you coming out this afternoon on short notice. We'll have brief remarks from School Board Chair Jackie Norris and our interim superintendent, Matt Smith. In addition, School Board member Maria Alonzo will provide a Spanish translation of their comments so that we reach important members of our DMPS community and family here today. Because of the legal complexities of this situation, we're unfortunately not going to be taking any questions following their remarks. We know you likely have questions, no doubt, but we ask you to bear with us and we won't be able to address further questions at this time. And so with that, I'll turn this over to our school board chair, Jackie Norris.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Des Moines Public School community, I want to provide an update from district leadership and the board on the current situation unfolding with our superintendent, Dr. Ian Roberts. Before we begin, it seems fitting to take a page out of Dr. Roberts' book and ask the community to engage in radical empathy as we work through this situation together. Radical empathy is the recognition that we can disagree and still empathize with each other. The respect of others' humanity. This concept will be essential as we wait to learn more. We do not have all the facts. There is much we do not know. However, what we do know is that Dr. Roberts has been an integral part of our school community since he joined over 2 years ago. During his time with our district, he has shown up in ways big and small and has advocated for students and staff and begun introducing concepts that will help us reimagine for future generations, reimagine education for future generations of Des Moines students. Here is what we also know. Dr. Roberts joined us in July 2023 and has held educational leadership positions in districts across the U.S. for 20 years. The Iowa Board of Educational Examiners issued Dr. Roberts a license to serve as superintendent in the state of Iowa in July 2023. There is new information that has been made public that we did not know, and we have not been able to verify as to whether that information is accurate. I'm turning it over to Interim Superintendent Matt Smith.
We stand firm with our community, many of whom are feeling sad, outraged, and helpless. We understand as we too are devastated by the news of his detainment. However, this does not stop our important work, and we will continue to provide outstanding education to the students in our community. Know this, we have protocols and processes in place to address this type of situation. We have leaders who will continue to show up in a way that communicates care, empathy, service, and action. We will lead with love and care for the dignity of human beings in Des Moines and across our country. This is challenging on many levels, and the reality is that we may not have additional answers right away. However, the strength of Des Moines Public Schools is in its people, our leaders, educators, and staff who will continue to advance the mission on behalf of our students and families as we wait for clarity in what comes next. In the words of Dr. Roberts, if you paddle together, you will survive the tide. If you paddle alone, you will likely drown. As we move forward and learn more, we choose to paddle together. Bring to the table, Ms. Maria Alonso.
Okay, so this part was in Spanish, basically a restatement of stuff that had been said before, and then they basically ended it. So I will say, the school board president, the school board chair, did say that they had heard some information that had become public and that they hadn't verified it. I don't know if she's talking, for example, about the info that Fox News was reporting, but as I said, it seemed to me that before they did this, ICE had posted a press release. I don't know if that's the information she was talking about. If they were talking about verifying that, but maybe they were not aware of the ICE press release. I'm not sure what information they knew or did not know of when they did that. But they didn't really get into details of what ICE had alleged in their announcement. By the way, thanks to Dewey for your support. Thanks very much, Dewey. And also thanks to, who was it? Our viewer, Sparky Pilot. And Sparky Pilot said, if ICE approached this guy with no ID, masked like they do so many others, no wonder he ran. So Sparky Pilot is saying, maybe he sped away from ICE in his car because he didn't know who they were. It's a fair point. I don't know the specifics. We have not heard his side of things, certainly. We've just heard ICE side of things. ICE said that they identified that so the exact language ICE used in their press release is they said, during a targeted enforcement operation today, officers approached Roberts in his vehicle after identifying himself, but he sped away. That doesn't really tell you much. It says that he identified himself, right? I don't know if they identified themselves. I have no idea. I can't speak to that. I can't speak to it. So it's a fair question that we don't, and a fair point, we don't have those details. Again, I will tell you what ICE says about this. Also, thank you to AZ Intel's dad. Hey, I really appreciate that, AZ Intel's dad. Thank you. Also, thanks to Table 10s, who says, I wonder if the gun was ever on school property. Also, was he legally able to carry or possess? Well, legally, according to ICE, if he was not in the country legally, he couldn't carry. But they said it's a violation of federal law for those in the U.S. without legal status to possess a firearm and ammunition. But they said that he came in legally, and he got a final order of removal last year by an immigration judge. So was he carrying for before 2024 legally? Because he was in the country legally at that time? That I can't answer for you. I understand the question. Thank you, Table 10s. Oh, and then what is this? Okay, let's go over what was said. Let's go over what was said by ICE. Thank you again to our moderators. We have Roberts, Mayqueen, Carms, Beasy. By the way, before I do that, I do want to point out, he has been superintendent there since 2023. For all we know, in 2023, he had legal status, right? So we shouldn't assume that when he was hired, he was in the country illegally. Although, again, I don't know who knows what. But what we know from ICE is that ICE said he got a final order of removal in May 2024. Hey, thanks to our moderators, Sabrina, Carms, Roberts, Mayqueen, and Beth Mythical. Thank you. All of our YouTube moderators over there on Twitch, Bastion Girl, David Green, LB Prairie Dawn, Idaho Star, Matthew Kohai 3, thank you. Those are our Twitch moderators. On Facebook, Kay Lowry, Body, Margaret Riley, Shannon Davis Hughes, thank you. Jennifer Ellers, by the way, thinks this should have come up in a background check. Teresa Gregory says Des Moines Education Department needs to get a handle on their background checks. Well, and again, I don't know what his background was, and did it change somehow in 2024 when he got this order for removal? So we'll have to wait, see what comes out about his status and why he got that order of removal in 2024 and what his status was before that. Also, thanks to Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha on X, our moderators over there. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's summarize what we know. And thanks to Lord of the Zings for being a new member. Thank you. The photos are from 2020. That's 2020. And that's from today. No, that's smaller. But that's from today on the left. That's from 2020. That is from today on the right, the gun. Okay. Hang on, guys. Hey, guys, if you can't be, we like having debate in our, chat. We welcome different positions, different views, in spirited debate. Our mods are there to keep things civil and respectful. But if you're gonna be rude, you're gonna get timed out or hidden. I'll do it myself. I've already had to time out people because people cannot avoid being rude. So it's one thing to have one view or another view, but we do not allow being rude. So you should be able to understand what it is to be respectful and rude to other viewers and myself. So if you want to keep chatting, I would suggest don't be rude because I will time you out or hide you. I have no problem doing it. So you've been warned. Hey, thanks to Sparky Pilot for your support. Yeah, Sparky Pilot says, we don't know what the deal is with this gun charge in 2020 and what happened with it. Let me read this from you let me read this to you from I.C.E. Okay? Let me read this to you from I.C.E. I.C.E. arrests criminal alien serving as Des Moines Public Schools superintendent. Prior weapons charges and in possession of loaded handgun at time of arrest. So when they say criminal alien, it appears that they're referring to his prior gun charge. Well, they say he had weapons charges from February 2020. We don't know the deal with that, what happened with those yet. And also, in possession of a loaded handgun, they said you're not allowed to possess if you're in the country illegally. And they say he was in the country illegally, just to be clear what they mean by that. Okay. So, let me make this a little bigger here. Today, I.C.E. Des Moines arrested Ian Andre Roberts, a criminal illegal alien from Guyana in possession of a loaded handgun, $3,000 in cash, and a fixed-blade hunting knife. At the time of his arrest, Roberts was working as the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools, despite being an illegal alien with a final order of removal and no work authorization. During a targeted enforcement operation today, officers approached Roberts in his vehicle after he identified himself, but he sped away. Officers later discovered his vehicle abandoned near a wooded area. State Patrol assisted in locating the subject, and he was taken into I.C.E. custody. Roberts has existing weapon possession charges. So some sort of weapon possession charge. I think I said that before, and I just forgot what I had said. It was a weapon possession charge or charges from February 5th, 2020. What were the weapon? It says charges. It could mean a single charge. I don't know how they're using that. But I do not know. We do not know what the nature of the weapon possession charges in 2020 were. No idea. And what happened with those? Roberts entered the U.S. in 1999 on a student visa and was given a final order of removal by an immigration judge in May of 2024. The investigation into how Roberts acquired the handgun is being turned over to the ATF. It is a violation of federal law for those in the U.S. without legal status to possess a firearm and ammunition. The I.C.E. ERO St. Paul Field Office Director Sam Olson said, this suspect was arrested in possession of a loaded weapon in a vehicle provided by Des Moines Public Schools after fleeing federal law enforcement. This should be a wake-up call for our communities to the great work that our officers are doing every day to remove public safety threats. How this illegal alien was hired without work authorization, a final order of removal, and a prior weapons charge is beyond comprehension and should alarm the parents of that school district. Now, by the way, just to be clear, he was hired in 2023. From what they're saying, they don't say he had a final order of removal in 2023, right? They said he had a final order of removal in 2024. He was hired by them in 2023. So I don't know that he was hired without a final order, with a final order of removal, unless there was a previous one. Also, similarly, I don't know what his status was in 2023. We'll have to wait and see and hear more. The prior weapons charge, again, we don't know. I would love to be able to tell you more about that. We just don't have a lot of information on that right now. But ICE says this should, how he was hired is beyond comprehension and should alarm the parents of that school district. Now, regardless of when he was hired, you also might ask, well, if he was given a final order of removal in 2024, did the school district not know that? Did he just not tell them? Should they have known that? You'd think it's something the school district would want to know. So I can't speak to that whole thing as well. Okay, so let me take some more comments from you guys on this. And I am also keeping an eye on other stories that might pop up. Fox News has a headline that's on X that says schoolhouse shock. Pappy messaged me and said that someone had posted on social media that they were going to have a protest at the federal building in Iowa. I don't have video of that right now. I don't have live video of any protests. There might be one going on. I can't steal video of it. But someone on social media claimed that Governor Reynolds ordered the arrest. I have no idea if that's true. I have no idea. I mean, it wouldn't be, I don't know that it would be the governor's call to tell ICE what to do. But I just don't know. Yeah, another viewer, Shocked Kitten, sent me something that she had found online from Facebook calling for a protest against ICE at the federal building in Des Moines, Iowa. I can't play this. There's a video that a viewer sent me that WHO13 said, posted about, called Meet Des Moines Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Ian Roberts. I can't play it on the air. It's their video. Thanks. Evelyn in Maine sent it to me. Thanks, Evelyn in Maine. Trying to take some more comments from you guys. Let me also check something else here. So there may be a protest in Des Moines going on over this. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing posts on Facebook. There's several posts on Facebook where people are saying we're going to protest at the federal building in Des Moines at 4 p.m. local time. Again, I don't I'm just seeing a bunch of posts on Facebook from different accounts, so I can't speak to what that's going to be like. If you go on Facebook and search, you can find it, but I'm seeing a bunch of accounts posting it. Let me take some more comments from you guys. Here again is the page from Des Moines Public Schools about him. It says that he came to Des Moines previously. He had served as the superintendent of the Mill Creek Township, Pennsylvania School District for 3 years. He also served as the St. Louis Public Schools High School Network Superintendent. And he had positions in Baltimore, Washington, D.C., South Bronx, New York, and other places in the U.S. They said he was named in 2013 George Washington University's D.C. Principal of the Year. Awakened One says, how many others do we have like that? I don't know if there are other people in similar positions in similar circumstances. One moment here. Let me also check some of the local outlets too and just see if they are posting some more updates. James Gorman says, I bet he just lied on his resume. Again, he didn't hide the fact that his parents were from Guyana. It says right down here, look, and he was in the country. He originally came to country on a student visa in 1999 legally, said ICE. He proudly shares that he was born to immigrant parents from Guyana and spent most of his formative years in Brooklyn. That's what it says. Did he not have, was he working illegally the entire time he was here? I can't tell you. Yes, as we mentioned before, apparently, it says on the website here and on Wikipedia too, but it says on this website he competed. He competed for in the 2000 Olympic Games. Wikipedia says it was he competed for Guyana, which again, it's regular thing that people compete for a place they were born, where they're not necessarily living at the time. But that would have been the year after he came here on his student visa. Now, Leet Wheat thinks he was arrested because of his ideology. Look, I mean, you can see here, it does say on the website here, school board website, public schools website, that he is passionate about, among other things, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I have no idea if his views played any role in this. Pocket Aces says, sounds like a smart, productive person that is good at his job. Ryan Hurt says he was literally a felon and a fugitive. Well, we don't know if he was a felon. We don't know the nature of his charge and what happened with that. He had weapons possession charges in 2020. That's all I said. So we just don't know what happened with those. Was he convicted? Were the charges dropped? What were the charges? We don't know yet. I don't even know where those were, because he came to this school. He came to this school system in 2023. Oh yeah, I was going to check and see if there was some other local reporting on this. Check some of the local reporting. Um, hang on a moment here. The organization Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice say that, now they say news outlets report that he is a U.S. citizen. Now we haven't heard that. That's different from what ICE reported. ICE said he was given a final order of removal last year. They posted that, by the way, a couple hours ago, so I don't know if they have a different view now. They might have posted that before ICE came out with their. Oh, they did say that again, Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice said in their press release a couple hours ago, community members who want to support Des Moines Public Schools and express their outrage at ICE tactics should gather at the federal building at 4 p.m. Also, let's see here. I'm looking at some local sources to see if there's anything else here, but I'm seeing a lot of the same information. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. I want to show you this as well. I believe we can find him on the inmate search. So, ICE detainee locator system would be Ian Roberts. Ian Roberts, Guyana, right? Search. Well, why is that not there? Why did it not come up? Did I not put in the right name? Ian Andre Roberts? I know it. I know another news outlet did the search and it worked. So I was just trying to show you guys. Well, I don't see it there now. Anyways, according to Des Moines, no, they said the Immigration Customs Enforcement said he's in the Pottawatomie County Jail. Pottawatomie County Jail. That's according to ICE. Let me show you this. Oh. Apparently that is where he is. Des Moines Register. Well, I'm sorry, they had a screen grab of showing he was in that jail. Oh, and Des Moines is in, hold on, which district is Des Moines? Let me show you this. 3rd Congressional District. So the congressional representative for Des Moines, who I believe is a Republican, Zach Nunn, he posted about this. Zach Nunn is a Republican. He represents the district that Des Moines is in. He said, I stand with our law enforcement officers who uphold public safety. Unfortunate situations like today underscore exactly why we must fix our broken immigration system. An individual with a prior weapons charge and an active deportation order should never have been placed in this position of public's trust. Now again, the deportation order, according to ICE, was issued, well, the order for final removal, yes, was issued last year. He was hired in 2023. We also don't know the details on that weapons charge and what happened with it. So Zach Nunn says, I will continue working with the administration on border and national security while expanding legal pathways to work and residency. Oh, let me see if also one of our viewers mentioned something from Fox News. They might have more reporting on this. Okay, let's see. Yes, so as one of our viewers mentioned, thanks to our viewer who mentioned this, 2 wild seniors. Fox News says Roberts was not legally authorized to work in the U.S. after his employment authorization card expired in 2020, authorities said. So Fox News is reporting that he was authorized to work in the U.S. until 2020 when his employment authorization card expired. That's what Fox News says. One of our viewers said he should have renewed it. Manny Peregrine. I can't tell you if he tried to renew it and what happened with that. Dolores Wilson thinks there was no background check. Yeah, I mean, I would think when the Des Moines hired him 2 years ago, you would think there'd be a check about, they would do the standard, like provide your passport or documentation of being able to work and that kind of thing. So I don't know what he provided them, if it's true that he didn't have permission to work. And just to remind you, oh, by the way, I just saw here AP reports Nexstar is joining Sinclair in ending their boycott of the Jimmy Kimmel Show. A few days ago, I think it was, ABC said, we're bringing the Jimmy Kimmel Show back, but Nexstar and Sinclair, which own dozens of ABC channels, said, well, we're not showing it yet. Now they're both showing it again. Thank you to Olive Tav for your support. Olive Tav thinks he wasn't supposed to be here, especially with our kids and guns. Thanks, Olive Tav. And Alejandro MZ. Are you sure about that, Alejandro? Hang on. So Alejandro sent me, what is this here? What he thinks the case is. There is a document. You know, another one of our viewers sent this to me too. Susan Deering. Thank you, Susan Deering. So there is a court document which is public information and publicly searchable. Okay? And I just found this searched by search. It says, so I'll show you. I mean, this is publicly searchable on the Pennsylvania Justice site. It says Ian Andre Roberts, which is the same name, right? I can't, maybe it's a different Ian Andre Roberts. It's the same name though. If this is him, it says down here, unlawful presence of loaded firearm in a vehicle, guilty plea. I believe that's what it is, if I'm reading this right. I'm looking this up. But from what I'm seeing online, it seems to suggest that except as provided in Title 34, blah, 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 it is no person shall carry a loaded pistol, revolver, shotgun rifle, or any other than a firearm is defined in blah, 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 blah in any vehicle. So anyways, if this is him, this is a charge. It says 2021 though, not 2020, just to be clear. If this is him, it's a charge for unlawful, I'm assuming, presence of loaded firearm in a vehicle. It's the same name, Ian Andre Roberts. It says guilty plea. It says awaiting sentencing, case disposed, penalty imposed, case balance due, completed. I mean, the summary trial was December 21st, 2021, and it says completed a month later. So I mean, that very well might be the charge. But just to caution you, it is the same name. I cannot guarantee that it's the same person. There could be another Ian Andre Roberts. And obviously we don't know the details of that case in terms of the specifics about it and what he says about it. One of our viewers said his bio says he enjoys hunting. Yeah, it does say that on his school page. One of the things he enjoys to do is hunting. Hold on a second here. All right, we'll take a few more comments here. So we watched the news update about this. We'll have to see if more information comes out. What is this here? Tora Melkson says, obviously a dangerous criminal element rolls eyes. And I have not seen a statement from him or his lawyers. April Thompson mentioned that there is a large crowd. There is currently a large crowd protesting outside of the federal building in Des Moines over the arrest of the superintendent. I'll post a link in the chat for you. That's from Megan McPherson with We Are Iowa News. I do not have video of that protest I can show you. But there is a protest going on in Des Moines now. So I'm just checking for updates here. If you do send me an update, please let me know the source. Sometimes people send me stuff and I don't know where they're getting it from. All right, anyways, so again, I don't have many more updates now. Let's just go over one more time what we know. But I don't have much to update you on at the moment. We can always do another stream on it if there's more updates, more big news on this. But what happened is Dr. Ian Roberts, the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools, the biggest school district in Des Moines, has about 30,000 students, was taken into custody by ICE today. ICE says he is in the country illegally. He had been the superintendent there for over 2 years. He was also the superintendent previously in Mill Creek Township, Pennsylvania School District for 3 years. He also had been the superintendent in St. Louis Public Schools High School. He was the St. Louis Public Schools High School Network superintendent. ICE says that he had prior weapons charges and that he had a final order of removal given last year by a judge. So I will just read you again what ICE has to say about this. This again is his picture today. That is 2020 photo of Ian Roberts. That is a gun they found in his car. Today, ICE Des Moines arrested Ian Andre Roberts, a criminal illegal alien from Guyana, they said, in possession of a loaded handgun, $3,000 in cash, and a fixed-blade hunting knife. At the time of his arrest, he was working as the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools, despite, they say, being an illegal alien with a final order of removal and no work authorization. During a targeted enforcement operation on September 26th, 2025, operators approached Roberts in his vehicle after he identified himself, I guess, but he sped away. Officers later discovered his vehicle abandoned near a wooded area. State Patrol assisted in locating the subject and he was taken into ICE custody. Roberts had existing weapon possession charges from February 5th, 2020. Online, we found what appeared to be a charge in Pennsylvania. Thanks to some viewers, we found a charge in Pennsylvania for an Ian Andre Roberts, which looked to be in 2021, but that charge for that Ian Andre Roberts in Pennsylvania, which may be his charge, was for unlawful, from what I could tell, it was for unlawful presence of a firearm in a vehicle, of a loaded firearm in a vehicle. So I don't know if that's the same person, but It could be. Anyways, and according to the Pennsylvania document we saw, he pleaded guilty to that charge. But again, I can't confirm that that's him at the moment. So Roberts entered the U.S. in 1999 on a student visa and was given a final order of removal by an immigration judge in May of 2024. The investigation into how Roberts acquired the handgun is being turned over to the ATF. It is a violation of federal law for those in the U.S. without legal status to possess a firearm and ammunition. I don't know. Maybe he got the gun when he was here legally. That I don't know. The I.C.E. St. Paul Field Office Director Sam Olson said this suspect was arrested in possession of a loaded weapon in a vehicle provided by Des Moines Public Schools after fleeing federal law enforcement. This should be a wake-up call for our communities to the great work that our officers are doing every day to remove public safety threats. How this illegal alien was hired without work authorization, a final order of removal, and a prior weapons charge is beyond comprehension and should alarm the parents of that school district. We also don't know, as some viewers have mentioned, what the exact situation was, how exactly it all played out in terms of that initial, when they initially approached him in, I guess, his car. Sounds like it was in his car. Yeah, they approached him in his vehicle this morning. What did they say? What did he say? How did that all play out before he sped away? They say he sped away. That we do not know. But if you want to go back and watch it, we played you. There was a short media update from the school district. Didn't say that much, but the people who spoke were very praiseworthy. They spoke of Dr. Roberts very highly. There is his page from Des Moines Public Schools. It says he was chosen following an extensive nationwide search based on a leadership profile developed with input from the school board, teachers, families, and others in the school community. And he is currently being held in a jail. I do not know what ultimately will come of this. Is he going to be deported? I don't know. When might that happen? I don't know. His profile says he is married. I don't know if he has children. I don't know what his spouse knows about this and where the spouse is. A lot we don't know. Let me just do one last check and see if I have any updates for you on this. But that's what we know right now. Thank you, by the way, to German Shepherd Girl Taylor for being a new member. And also Sevenfold, thank you. Sevenfold says, any law-abiding citizen could easily mistake masked gunmen as criminals engaged in unconstitutional activities. I do not know if the officers that approached were wearing masks. I do not know if they identified themselves. I do not know what that exact interaction was. Maybe there will be video released of it. Thank you, Ellis Thomas, for your support. Tevin Mayfield, Sir Pay, thank you. And Mitchell Pilot and Lord of the Zings, and Eric and Boomer Wow. Daryl P. thinks ICE agents in masks do not look like criminals. They look like masked federal law enforcement and are usually wearing badges around their necks. Thanks, Pragmatic Realist, over on Twitch as well. Master Voltaire says, I voted for this. I'm a Peaky Blinder says, overstaying a visa. Hopefully he'll only receive a fine or with a promise to renew visa or apply for it. And I do remind you, we have not heard from him or any lawyer. So if I had such a statement, I would certainly give it to you. Maybe there's a side of the story that we haven't heard from him and his legal team. Jack Lynn said, did he have the gun in his car while at work? That I do not know. Brian Shy thinks you cannot work around kids with a charge like that. All right, guys. I think I've gotten all the updates I have on this right now that I can give to you. I'll certainly be keeping an eye on this story. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to make sure one more time that the schools haven't posted anything more about this. I don't see anything more from the school system about it. Yeah, I don't see anything more publicly from the school system. Okay, so look, again, I will keep an eye on this. I will keep an eye on this, and if I have more updates, I will post them on my X account. Oh, hold on a second here. Let me mention one thing here. Sorry. Someone sent me, I didn't see it was in my spam folder. Our viewer, Respect, sent me an Amazon page that appears to maybe have a book by him. And it says, I can't find where this is. It's from 2009. What does it say here? I guess in this book, if it's really by him, if this is by him, there's part of it at the beginning in 2009. Well, now I can't even see it. I was trying to see it. Oh, it's right here. It says that he had work experience including commissioned military officer, Army, and law enforcement officer. Maybe those were part of his jobs. I don't know. Maybe he did serve in the military some. Maybe he was a law enforcement officer at some point. Thanks, Respect, for letting me know. I appreciate that. Yeah, by the way, also our viewer JR mentioned that the CNN story said he pled guilty to a weapon charge in 2022, which I think is the one we were looking at from Pennsylvania. That's what it sounds like. Sorry, I missed a couple of these messages before, so I just wanted to check what people were sending me. Oh. Nicole Poore sent me an article from 4 years ago about the Mill Creek superintendent receiving a hunting citation? Yes. Oh, this is actually interesting. Sorry. So, this gun charge he originally had, he actually posted a letter about it. And this is from yourerie.com. And they said that he, if I can summarize it for you, I'll post a link in the chat. This was in Pennsylvania. He said he's a trained commissioned military officer, by the way. He said he's legally licensed to hunt in Pennsylvania, a licensed firearm owner, and legally licensed to carry a hunting rifle. That's what he wrote in this letter. I'm trying to read through and see what the detail is. He said he momentarily placed his hunting rifle in the back seat of his parked vehicle back when this happened. Several years ago, in clear view by the warden, and continued the conversation. Then he says, after answering the officer's questions as requested to my disbelief, I was then cited for having a loaded weapon in my vehicle. He said, I reminded the officer, and he acknowledged that we both arrived at my vehicle at the same time. So his explanation of what happened several years ago with this weapon charge is, he said, I do not know the true intent of the officer who chose to randomly stop me while I was on my way out of the woods, heading to my vehicle during a day of hunting. He said he was hunting and an officer stopped him. Also, he said he knew a loaded weapon in a vehicle was not permitted. And he said he did not enter his vehicle with a loaded weapon. And he said he was stopped, I guess, near his vehicle while hunting. And then he said, while I was hunting a few months ago, he said, I walked out of the state game lands and was approaching a vehicle where I would typically unload my weapon, place it in a lockbox, enter my vehicle, and leave for the day. However, on this day, I was approached by a state game warden who began asking me questions regarding my knowledge of other individuals at the gun range nearby and their activities. As I stated earlier, I did not feel unsafe or threatened by this conversation. I momentarily placed the hunting rifle in the backseat of my parked vehicle, door open and in clear view of the warden. After answering the officer's questions, to my disbelief, I was then cited for having a loaded weapon in my vehicle. He said he did not want to unload the rifle in the presence of a law enforcement officer who was responding to a call for automatic rifle fire at the nearby gun range. Again, so I'm going to post a link to this article. Thanks to our viewer for messaging me about this. This is Dr. Ian Roberts in Pennsylvania several years ago explaining what his explanation of the gun charge. He says he was legally permitted to have this weapon. He was out hunting. He was stopped by a warden to ask him near his car, who wanted to ask him questions about other people. And he didn't want to, he said he didn't want to unload the weapon in the presence of the officer because he said the officer was responding to a call for automatic rifle fire. So he said he placed the weapon in the back seat, the loaded weapon in the back seat of his car in full view of the officer, who then cited him for having the gun in the back seat Loaded. He said, I was not arrested. I received a hunting-related citation, a summary offense for which I paid a fine. I then pled guilty so I could avoid the unnecessary time away from my responsibilities to the school district. All right, I'm going to actually post this. I know it's kind of complex sounding, but so this is a letter that the that the Des Moines superintendent, who was arrested, who was taken into custody by I.C.E, wrote back in 2022, I believe, explaining his gun charge in Pennsylvania. All right. This is the letter that the Des Moines superintendent, who was taken into custody by I.C.E, wrote several years ago to explain his weapons charge in Pennsylvania. And I'll post a link to it too. And again, thanks again very much to our viewer for sending that to me. And the original article, I posted the link to it, is in yourerie.com. But thanks to our viewer, Nicole Poor. Okay. And sorry, I was checking messages from other people as well. We'll have to see what he says about what happened today, or his legal team says. Oh, by the way, PW360 mentioned this to me. NBC News reports that U.S. military officials are drawing up options to target drug traffickers inside Venezuela, and strikes within that country's borders could potentially begin in a matter of weeks. 4 sources told NBC News. So I'll post that too. Thanks to PW360 for mentioning that. Swanky Tiger mentioned that WHO 13 said that even though online records said he is in the Potawatomi County Jail, the staff at the jail told a reporter from WHO 13 we have never had anybody by that name and don't have anyone by that name. So again, I'm not sure. Maybe that's incorrect information online. Okay, guys, so we have been talking about this. We've been on for a while talking about this. I don't want to keep repeating the same information again and again and again. Again, let me just do a last check and see if I have any new information for you. But what has happened, you can rewind and watch the whole stream. We talked about this at length. We have been talking about how ICE took into custody today the superintendent of the Des Moines, Iowa public school system, the biggest school system in Iowa. He has been in the country since 1999. He came in on a student visa. ICE said that last year he was given a final order of removal by an immigration judge. They said he had a weapon possession charge from 2020. Online records from Pennsylvania appear to show that he had a charge in 2021 in Pennsylvania of possessing a loaded firearm in a vehicle. He wrote a letter explaining that charge that I talked about earlier, and I have posted on my X account, where he basically says he was hunting legally and he was stopped by a warden, by an officer, to ask questions about other people. And while he was stopped talking to the official, he wanted to put down his gun, so he placed it in his back seat. And then, to his surprise, the officer charged him with unlawfully having a loaded firearm in his vehicle. You can read this whole letter about it on my X account. So, but again, they say that today he had a loaded weapon in his car. They say you're not allowed to have a loaded weapon. You're not allowed to have a weapon if you are in the country, if you're not legally in the country, to possess a firearm. And they found $3,000 in cash and a fixed blade hunting knife. He is a fan of hunting. We do not know what is going to happen to him. The school board did a brief media update where they were very praiseworthy of him. They gave a lot of praise to him. They did not go into detail about the allegations against him, and they said they were trying to find out more. So they have appointed an interim superintendent. So that's basically what we know right now. He has a long work history in the United States. He was a principal prior to this for 3 years in Pennsylvania. Not a principal. He was a superintendent prior to this for 3 years in Pennsylvania. And also, he was a superintendent in Pennsylvania. He was the superintendent of Mill Creek Township School District. He also was the high school network superintendent in St. Louis Public Schools. And he had a number of other education-related jobs in the U.S. But we'll have to see what happens to him now. All right. Guys, I think it is time, though, to wrap up this stream. You can go back and rewatch if you want. We talked about a bunch of this in detail. What is this from? I don't even know. I just want to make sure they didn't release another video. Nope, that's the one I see. Okay. We're going to wrap this up. Hey, I really appreciate you being here for our coverage. I will post more updates on my X account if I see them. My X account is at Lookner on X. That's what it looks like, at Lookner on X. I will post a link to it in the chat. If there's some huge development, we can always do another live stream. And I really appreciate you being here and joining for this stream. And also thanks for people who have been sending me updates. I got a lot of nice, helpful updates and links from our viewers today, which was really helpful. So thanks to all of you who wrote in and shared stuff with me, and also let me read your comments and questions on the air. We'll have to see. We have not heard his side of the story on all of this, so we'll have to see what comes out if we get a statement from him or his legal team. And but I will post more when I hear it on my X account if there's big updates. Also, if you want to know when we're coming live, I would suggest subscribe and follow the channel, Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news on the channel without an agenda. So subscribe, follow Agenda Free TV. Also, I would suggest turning on our notifications. We have a notification system that will inform you when we're going live every time, send you a message. It's free to sign up. You only have to sign up once. We do it through Discord. Works really well. So I would suggest doing that so you don't miss a stream. The mods will post a link to the notifications in the chat. You can also find the free notifications link in our description of this video on YouTube and Facebook. Okay. And what else was I going to say? I really appreciate our moderators who are here. They are awesome. They're the reason that we can have chat rooms, our moderators. So very much appreciate them being here. They keep things civil and respectful in the chat when we have people of different views getting together to discuss stuff, which is great, but we can't do that without our mods. Thank you, moderators. Robert's May Queen, Beth Mythical over there on YouTube. Thank you for modding there. I appreciate that. Hold on a second here. He has a LinkedIn page too. I just saw that, so I was just peeking at that. He has a detailed work history on his LinkedIn page. He was a teacher in New York City Department of Education, teacher for 9 years in Baltimore Public Schools. He was superintendent in Mill Creek Township School District, Pennsylvania from August 2020 to August 2023. Anyways, you can check his LinkedIn page too. Ian Andre Roberts. Hey, thanks to our moderators our moderators on Twitch, people like Bash and Girl, 13 Alamo, David Green, LB Prairie Dawn, Idaho Star, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3. Huge thanks to all of our Twitch moderators too. Our Facebook moderators, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, and Shannon Davis Hughes, all of our Facebook moderators, Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha on X. Thanks for moderating over there. Thanks to everybody who donated to the channel too. I really appreciate your support for the channel. That's what allows this channel to exist, is your support. Rocket King, I didn't thank before. Thank you, the Rocket King. Also, CJ Lars, 1399. I Am Fatness. Dan and Maggie, thank you. Yeah, one of our viewers sent me what appears a book he wrote on Amazon. So you could go to Amazon and look up his books if you want. There's one on Amazon called Prisoners or Presidents: The Simple Things That Change Everything When Principles Lead Like Lives Depend on It. Did I get everybody over there on Twitch? Who Shot JR, thanks for your support. I think I thanked everybody else, but I really appreciate it. If you ever want to donate, you go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv. But thank you so much for all your support of the channel and allowing this channel to exist. Also, I want to mention, another good way to find out when we are live is to follow us on X, at AgendaFreeTV on X. I always post there when we go live. I post updates about the channel there. You can follow us over there. And we do have a Discord chat where you can chat with other viewers when we're not live. It's free. A bunch of our viewers like doing the chat. So check it out. It's on Discord. It's the same link as the free notifications link, the Discord chat. Also, if you are on YouTube, I want to mention if you're watching on YouTube, I would suggest turning the YouTube notifications on. Another good way to find out when we're live. To do that, you got to subscribe to the channel, then click the notifications bell and choose all notifications. So subscribe, click the bell, and choose all notifications. Also, shout out to our Twitch subscribers who support the channel by subscribing. Very much appreciate all your support, subscribers like Barcodable, Artful Nothing, Wall Street and Shaggy, Distant Galaxy. Thank you so much. Amalian, Bastion Girl, Billy Joe, Matthew Kohai 3, Douthis, and Lucha Libre Hero, Cece, and all of our other subscribers over there. Oh, thanks Who Shot JR for your support again as well. Thank you. Pragmatic Realist, thanks for subscribing. Tahoe 7, thank you. And all of our Twitch subscribers, our Facebook subscribers too, like Chuck Mosca, Robert Real II, Shannon Klassen Goslin, Jennifer Ellers, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, Shannon Davis Hughes, and all of our other Facebook subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing over there. And our YouTube members like J.K. Sinar, CAC813, Evelyn in Maine, Teresa, Babs, Jerry Kovacs, Lord of the Zings, Tallulah A. Bell, Holstrand, Leslie Ladyhawk, Bella Rose, Macro Geek. Did I say Jerry Kovacs? Thanks to all of our other members over there too. Babs, Mama of 6, Teresa. All right, we're wrapping up this live stream. If there's big news tonight, we'll come on and cover it, okay? Music Yo-Yo, thanks for watching from Italy. Thanks also to Annette Cervantes for watching. Michelle Defender, Mams Broek, thanks for watching. Again, if you missed it, you can go back and rewind. You can watch the update the school district gave and all of our coverage from before. You can rewind and watch it. Also, Melissa Terry, thanks for watching. Billy Anderson, thank you for watching. Jamie Rowland, Juliana Martin, Christy Claft. Kenny K, thank you. And everybody else for watching. All right, that's it. Miali Music, thanks for watching too. That is it for now. You've been watching our live coverage of this developing story. The Des Moines, Iowa Public Schools Superintendent taken into custody today by ICE. We do not know if he is going to be deported, but that is it for now. Thank you for watching. We will see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.